Hi friends, it's Auden. I hope you're having a wonderful week and welcome to this very long video. I strongly recommend that you get a drink and a snack or get all cozy up in bed. I have, see if you can guess. Yes, that's right. An iced coffee. A sugar-free iced caramel mocha, to be specific. And we're going to settle in. This is, I think, the longest video I've ever done. It is currently sitting at about 45 minutes, I want to say. And that's before I add the tour at the end of the video. So get settled in. And I hope you're ready for a long video. Let me know if you would like longer videos occasionally. Yeah, this is a big one. So let's get right into it. This is going to be a industrial penthouse. And I love this build so much. It is very big, but it's very cool and I just really love it so much. You can see here that I have gotten most of the shape of the building itself up and done and figured out for the most part. And now I'm just adding windows and roofing and platforms and balconies, just really trying to figure out what else it needs, like how to figure out the shape and stuff. I did record this forever ago. I just checked my files to see when the first clip was recorded, and it was in April. It's currently November. So that tells you how long I've been sitting on this video. The first clip was recorded on April 13th, and the last clip was recorded on April 20th. So it did take me about a week to build. But I really love it and I really wanted to post it. I just haven't been able to because it's a very long video. It took a while to edit, and once I got it edited, I just haven't had time to sit down and do a 45-minute voiceover. And then, I was on hiatus for a bit. So, but we're here. We're getting into it. As you can see, we are trying to figure out the doors and windows. I am working on opening my game right now so I can look at the build while I talk about it to kind of know more. But until that opens, I'm just gonna have to go off what I think I did. On the left side of the build, there ends up being what looks like a greenhouse, but it does not have greenhouse things inside. I think there's a couple of the tall planters from Eco Lifestyle in there, but for the most part, it's just like a skill building space. I know that there is a chess table and pottery, like the kiln and the pottery wheel. But that's over there. It ends up having space for as many Sims as you could possibly fit in this house. There's space for cats and dogs. There's space for 2 to 4 parent, guardians, grandparents, whatever. There is 2 teen bedrooms, or what I imagine as teen bedrooms. There's a toddler bedroom, an infant bedroom, and a twin teen bedroom, or twin child bedroom, or just two children Sims in one room. And then there's even a bassinet for a newborn in the parent guardian room. So you can literally have all ages in this house. It is a huge, massive house with just space for everything. You can see here I'm trying to just map out what it's going to end up looking like, and I'm just struggling with the wall height because I don't like building on taller wall heights because you just have to fit so much. Like, you just have so much wall space that it's just like, what am I supposed to do with all this wall space? And it was already going to be a huge house. I also have one other giant house that's like this massive ranch, family ranch, that I also have never edited or posted, and that's probably about as old as this, if not older. So I love to build, and I have so many builds recorded, that are just not posted or edited. I currently have 28 different builds in my like to be edited, to be posted folder. And maybe I should post like a photo of that and see which of the builds sounds the best to you and work on that way. I did clean it up recently and deleted about, I want to say 10 builds that I just was not happy with or didn't finish or wasn't ever going to post. But this build just takes so long. I pretty much work on the front for the majority of the beginning of this build, like just trying to really nail down the shape. And I wanted it to be like industrial warehousey type thing, even though I feel like a warehouse on a penthouse makes no sense. Because like, how are you getting the things you're making in the warehouse if it's on a penthouse? But I don't care. It's like not meant to be an actual warehouse. It was never actually a warehouse. It was probably built to be a penthouse. Like, I feel like they knew the style they wanted and they built it like this. It wasn't like a renovated warehouse. It was just built this way. There is 3 stories to this build. So the first floor has the living spaces, like the dining room and the living room, kitchen. There's like a little office nook. There's the elevator. There's, I think what's probably in my head, like the grandparent bedroom or just one of the adult bedrooms. There's the office, and what else is down there? There's a couple bathrooms, and I think that's about it for the first floor. And then the second floor has a lofted hallway space, and then all of the other bedrooms except for one. And then the third floor has 2 different sections. The one at the front of the build, the smaller little bump out, I don't know why I'm pointing at it, you can't see me, has one of the teen bedrooms. And then this bigger bump out on the back of the build, the third story on the back of the build is a like scientist workshop. I did feel like one of the parents of this house is a scientist. Here you can see that I was trying to do anything to make the side of this build not just be one big wall. It ends up being one big wall. So it looked weird trying to make it not be a big wall. So it is a wall, but we make it look cute, and I'm happy with it. I think it looks really, really pretty. My game is not opening, and I really want to look at the build while I build it. And my game does not want to open. I do cut out sections of this build because sped up unedited, it was over an hour and a half long. Sped up partially edited, it was still like an hour and 10 minutes. So I had to like make some decisions about things to cut from the speed build footage because it would just be too much to post an over-hour video for me. I will watch creators that I enjoy post builds that are over an hour long. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I worry that no one would watch it if it was over an hour long. For me, for my content. That's not the case for videos that I would watch. I would happily watch any of the creators that I love if they posted hours long videos, and I have watched them. But I wanted it to be under an hour long for this video, and I did get it down to that, but we cut out a couple of things. But we will be doing a live tour at the end of the video so you can see how it turned out and the floor plan and how it all kind of works together. But right now we are going to be working on the front exterior of the build, kind of trying to lay out different spots outside for landscaping. I wanted a massive pool. No, never mind. We're on the inside now. Where you can see that I did do the floor plan off camera. I always do floor plans off camera because it just makes me anxious trying to record a floor plan. So I always do them off camera. But this is where the kitchen is going to be. I feel like it's a fairly small kitchen for such a giant build, but it's also a good size. I feel like it looks really good. It's got everything you need and more, and it looks really pretty and industrial. And I'm happy with it. I think it's a little small for such a big build, but I think it works. You'll have to let me know what you think. So it's just like in this little corner with a couple island counters, and then it's like right next to where the elevator is. And next to the elevator is like a little desk nook. There is a separate office, and then the scientist office upstairs. And then each of the Sims, like the teen Sims, have their own desks. So there's a lot of computer space in this build. Okay, so I have the build pulled up on my other Am I okay? I have the build pulled up on my other monitor now, so now I can talk about it a little bit. So the counters and cabinets we use are from base game, and I just think that they are so beautiful now that they've added a while back all these they're not new anymore, swatches. I think they're so pretty. The stove and oven are from Dream Home Decorator, and then the fridge, I don't know what fridge we use. Is it the one from Life and Death? I think it might, yes, it's the one from Life and Death. And then the sink, I think, is base game. Yes, it is base game. Also, this kitchen is not super cluttered. There are parts of this build that are fairly cluttered, but since it is such a big build, I tried to keep clutter to a minimum when at all possible, and I think I did okay trying to do that. But you can see that we have kind of finished the kitchen area for now. We will go back and clutter later, and now I'm trying to figure out what is gonna go in this little nook by the elevator. And it ends up being a little desk space with a chair and a lamp and some bookshelves from... Where are these bookshelves I end up using from? The desk we use is from base game, and I think the chair is Comfy Gamer. And then the bookshelves are businesses and hobbies, I believe. Now, these windows that we use all over the build with the beautiful metal and the beautiful arch are from, I want to say, Get to Work. Let me check. Yes, Get to Work. And I just think that they are so perfect for this build. They're so pretty and so industrial, and I love the arch on top. So I was very happy with that. The main colors in this build are a dark, rich wood tone, the kind of dark burgundy-esque brick that you see we're using, and then black. And then for color, we're using orange, like this rusty kind of orange that mostly comes in the industrial loft kit, and the curtains we end up using, I think, are from Seasons in this really pretty orange swatch. And then I believe the chair is from Horse Ranch, and the rug is Snowy Escape. I try really hard to list where everything comes from, because I know that is a lot of the reason people like voiceovers. If they prefer voiceovers to music speed builds, it's usually because they want to know where everything is from, and also the idea behind the build and how you got there. So I try to tell you where everything's from. That's why I list a lot of where things are from. In this little center section, it was just kind of open, and I thought it would look really cute to have like a little rug and table there. And so we put that in the little center. The table is Mrs. and Hobbies, and the plant, I believe, is not Eco Lifestyle. Is it Eco Lifestyle? No, it's Paranormal. Why do I want to say Eco Lifestyle? And then over by the elevator, we just get some like front entry items, some little cubbies from high school years, and just some various clutter from Everyday Clutter Kit, as well as the mailbox and a little industrial light. Over on the wall next to the refrigerator is where we put the trash chute, and I liked that there. I thought it was really nice. We have now moved on over into the dining room, where we're going to use a base game table and chairs. And then you will notice at some point later on in the video that the living spaces, I think I cut out adding it all, but the living spaces have toys. So there's like a toy on the dining table and a toy on the kitchen counter and by that table in the entryway, because I wanted it to just like have little specks of like kids leaving stuff around the penthouse. So I thought that that looked really, really lived in and cute. The rug in here is from, I don't know where this rug is from actually. Parenthood. I don't really use this swatch ever, so I couldn't remember where it's from. We use these sleek bathroom mirrors and just some various clutter from various packs on top of these Book Nook bookshelves. And then we grab a Business and Hobbies tiny little two-seater love seat over in the corner. But first I am rearranging the room a little bit. I couldn't figure out at first how I wanted to lay it out, like what direction everything was gonna go and how to really fit it all in the room. And if I wanted to like make the door different or smaller, or if I wanted to make like a extra big table, which I probably could have made a dining table out of like 2 of the 2-tile tables so that there was a couple extra seats, because this is such a big household. But you can really only have 8 Sims without cheats. So you really only need 8 chairs. And we do end up with a high chair in the corner. So I think you're probably fine. I think it's probably okay. But I do go back into the kitchen space for a bit, it looks like. I did edit this part of the video a while back, so I can't really remember what order everything is in. But we are back over in the little dining space, kind of working on that. And now I'm trying to figure out what is going to go in this little area, which is kind of just in the middle of the house. And I decided to put another living setup there, just without the TV. So this is kind of like the informal, or maybe it's more the formal living room space, where there's just a couch and a love seat and some shelves and lighting and curtains, and it's just very cute and industrial, like the whole build. And then the main living room will have like the TV and piano and all that stuff over there, but this is just going to be a little seating area, and I think that that's realistic. I think it looks really pretty, and it's really hard to fill big builds like this. Like, there's so much space, and you kind of have to find a balance between filling every spot and letting there be spots that aren't completely filled. If you know what I mean. If you build, you know what I mean. It's just hard to balance sometimes. But we are now moving on into the living room, and I'm trying to figure out if I want more windows or if I'm just going to have walls, like wall space. And I end up just having the TV on the back wall. The exterior, there are these industrial beams, and I think they're also from Get to Work, and I put the wall plants from Get Together in them, and I thought that looked really, really pretty. But now we're trying to pick out some furniture for this living room. We end up with the couches from the Industrial Loft Kit for obvious reasons. I feel like I don't need to explain why I chose them. They're industrial, and this is an industrial house, so they fit. And then the little chairs from Businesses and Hobbies are where we end up with. But I think we try out a few before we get there. And then at some point I go around and I add the industrial ceiling fans in a lot of the rooms to kind of, I don't know, I just thought it looked really pretty. And I'm really happy with that. I did delete the clip of me cluttering up this space. The coffee table gets a little tray from Tiny Living and a little toy and some diapers, and then the TV stand we made out of upper cabinets that match the kitchen, and that just has a plant and like a little basket on it. And it's very light clutter, but there's still clutter. Like the space feels cluttered, but not overly cluttered. In a smaller build, I would probably clutter a little bit more because I like to, but this is a very big build and I wanted it to not have too much clutter, but there is clutter. It looks like I left a little bit of it in. The coffee table, I think, is Eco Lifestyle. Yes, it is. And then the little end table between the sofas is from the Book Nook, and the lamp is from High School Years. The pillows on the couch are both from Modern Luxe and Base Game. And then I think we get a little poof from, I want to say Comfy Gamer, but I'm not really sure. And then the Modern Luxe lamp, and then a fish tank from Cats and Dogs, and a piano from, where's the piano from? Growing Together, maybe? And now apparently I'm back over into the other living room, just working on that a little bit. I didn't realize I bounced around so much in this build. I am all over the place. The open doorways were so perfect for this build. They were absolutely the right choice for this build in particular. I love the openness, and then the glass just works so well in this build. I was so thrilled with these open glass arch doorway things. They are from the Industrial Loft Kit, I believe. And then the like interior doors, I don't think I've ever used. And I think they're from Businesses and Hobbies. And I think they're so, so pretty. And then the hutch that we end up using over by the trash chute, I believe is from the Cozy Bistro kit. And then over in this little corner you just saw, there's just a little table that's made out of books. There's a plant and a Blarfy and a mirror and one of those industrial, oh, my chair is creaking, industrial pipes up on the wall. I wanted to add more of those because I felt like they were realistic, but they just block the view of everything so much that I just put them in a few corners just so that I had them, but they weren't taking up so much of your visual space in the build. But now we have moved back into the kitchen to kind of clutter up everything and just make it look more lived in and nice. And then I'm just sort of just adding things everywhere. I wish I'd quit like moving around so much. It's really bothering me that I'm just flying all over this build. Just the ADHD is very strong in this recording. Like, I just keep getting distracted and going to another area, and it's annoying me, so I'm sure it's annoying some of you. I do apologize. But we're just kind of cluttering up the dining room, and then I think we're going to cut in a second and move on to another space, but I don't remember where. Oh, we're moving on into the little, it's not little, into the greenhouse section of the build. And this is where it's going to have some of the like clutter and decor that goes with eco lifestyle, I want to say. The like fake gardening shelf is eco lifestyle, yes. And then the like big storage gardening shelf, and then the kiln and pottery wheel from businesses and hobbies. There's clutter from all kinds of packs in here, mostly the artist studio. Is that artist studio kit? That is everywhere in here. The little storage cubbies are from, let me check. I want to say high school. No, Dream Home Decorator. Why did I want to say high school years? And then we just get a chess table in the middle. And I really like it in here. I think it's very open and pretty. And oh, I'm just happy with it. The doors and windows are from the Greenhouse Haven kit, and they are some of the best doors and windows in the game. I really, truly believe that. They're so beautiful. And I love okay. I love, oh my word. I'm just gonna move on. I'm moving on. We're moving on into the first bedroom now. This is the downstairs bedroom. I do imagine that this is a grandparent's bedroom. We kind of put things around that would attest to the fact that it is the grandparents' bedroom. So there's some like older artwork and decor and like things that they've collected over their lives. So there's some like older paintings, and they have like a collection of records all around the room. And then there's like a painting. There's paintings on the wall above the dressers. These dressers here from Business and Hobbies that I think are probably grandma and grandpa. Like they put up these portraits of themselves, or maybe it's portraits of their parents, but I think it's portraits of them. But over in this little corner, we just get a lamp from, I want to say, Life and Death. Yes, Life and Death. The Industrial Loft chairs and the Businesses and Hobbies little side table. The big painting that we're going to be putting above the chairs is from Life and Death, and it is the portrait where you can have your family photo in it. And I just thought that that fit really well for this being a grandparents' room. On this wall, we get a, okay, I'm swapping this chair out in the in the dining room, but we end up with a fireplace in the corner from, I want to say, Businesses and Hobbies, the like round one. It kind of felt industrial to me, so we used that. It doesn't go in that corner, it goes in the other corner. But I was just trying to figure out which one I wanted to use. And then we get one of those like older style record players from, what is that kit called? It's the one that came out with Secret Sanctuary. The record player that came out with the kit that came out when that one did. And then we just put some records underneath it, and then some more records on the eco lifestyle dresser we get in the corner. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm kind of like talking with the video on my right monitor, so I can see where I'm at, but I keep like looking at my left monitor where my game is open and talking about it there. So I need to focus more on what I'm doing on the right monitor on the video itself and not looking ahead so far. The bed and the side tables are from the Industrial Loft kit, and I love them so much. They're so pretty. I love them. They look so good. The lamps, where are the lamps from? I think they're from the living room what is it called? That living room kit. The like more recent refined living room kit. They're from that. I think they are very, very pretty in this room. And a little more modern-y maybe. But this is the, it's not a coffee table. Dresser. The eco lifestyle dresser. Through that door right there is the bathroom for the grandparents. I think I cut out the bathrooms in this build. I may have left like one of them in. I usually will show, like if there's multiple bathrooms, I'll show at least one of them, because you don't need to see me decorate just a different layout of the same bathroom a dozen times. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bathrooms in this build. You do not need to see me decorate the same thing 5 times, just in a different layout. So I do believe I cut that out. There is also a couple other things I cut out. I cut out sections of the exterior, and then I think I cut out the very top floor, the 3rd floor. I cut out some of the scientist's office, and then I cut out the 3rd floor bedroom, but we'll do a tour at the end of the video and you'll be able to see it. Also, I did lose a clip on accident, or didn't record, like forgot to record part of the office, but this is the office. We use a eco lifestyle dining table, and then I don't remember where this drafting table came from. I think it's from Dream Home Decorator. And then we just have a lot of book nook in here, just books everywhere, clutter. This is the most cluttered room of the house. I feel like maybe the storyline for me, I just was trying to keep clutter to a minimum, but I think in the storyline you could say that they want to keep the main rooms of this house clutter minimum, both because they have children and they're trying to like be safe, but then also like because it's just cleaner. And then this room, they just let the clutter go. They're just like, this is the office, I don't care, let there be clutter everywhere. Am I Dr. Seuss? What? Just, that was a bar. Anyway, I think I cut out cluttering up these shelves. At least I hope I did, because they are just very cluttered. There's lots of stuff on them. They are from Book Nook. The chair that we end up using in here is kind of worn, and it's from Basement Treasures, and then the plant is from Businesses and Hobbies. And then everything else is just kind of from an assortment of packs. There's like Comfy Gamer, and there's Book Nook, plenty of Book Nook. There's a couple base game items, and yeah, there's just stuff everywhere. And the same curtains that we use throughout the rest of the build. Apparently I did not cut out cluttering up this room. I really wish that I would have, because what is this? This is so frustrating to watch. I'm feeling frustrated watching this. So I'm so sorry. This is also a spot where there ends up being a little robot toy on the ground by the chair. Like the kid was, they're not supposed to be in here, but maybe they were in here for a second hanging out with their parent while they were working. But now we are back into the living room. Oh my goodness, we are all over the place. But we are back in the living room, just kind of adding a few more pieces to really bring it all together. A couple pieces of clutter that I thought I cut out, but I guess I didn't. And then just, this is where I start adding toys all over the like community spaces. And now we have moved on into the one bathroom that I'm going to be showing. So we heavily use the sleek bathroom kit. I believe it had like just recently come out when I was building this, because it is very heavily used. It's also just, it fits the build really, really well. So we get a bathtub in the corner from Sleep Bathroom with some towels above it, and a pretty koi fish painting that has like some fall leaves in it that's really, really cute. And then 2 little sinks. They're not little sinks, they're very big sinks. And then on the other wall ends up being a bunch of clutter, the toilet, the shower, some like shower dividers. And I think it looks really pretty in here. I think it matches the vibe of the rest of the house. and I really, really, really like it. This lot is built on one Torendi Tower penthouse lot in San Myshuno. That's the world that comes with City Living, and it is on the left lower side of the city, of the map. So you can go place it there. It does come in. I still don't know why my game does this. The total that it says in build mode is different than the total that it says on the gallery by a significant amount. And I don't see that happening to anyone else. And I still don't understand why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what my game is doing. It makes no sense to me. So in build mode, it comes in at 350,748 simoleons, which is crazy. That is, I can't believe that. That is wildly expensive. I don't know that I've ever built anything that expensive. And then on the gallery, it says that it comes in at, if it'll load, but while that's loading, this is going to be the infant bedroom. We end up with lots of books in here. I feel like this is like their whole family collection of children's books. And so they just put them all in here, which probably isn't super safe to have this many books and bookshelves, but they're secure to the wall. It's fine. In build mode, this comes in at 354,923 simoleons. So it is a very pricey build, but it's a big, fancy, expensive, mansion-y penthouse. So I think it's okay. But the rug is from Cozy Kitsch. The changing table and crib are from Base Game, as is the little like blanket rack. And then that's pretty much it for this room. It's very, very simple, very minorly decorated because it's an infant room. You don't need much. This is going to be the kids' room. These are either twins or just two kids in the same family. Depends on your storyline. This room took me a minute because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to lay it out. I knew that I wanted two beds in here with like similar styles, like this. They each have the same pieces of furniture. It's just placed, it's kind of symmetrical. This wall is symmetrical, but the other wall is not. I think I end up adding a window over here, but I can't remember. The beds are from Base Game. The desks are from Businesses and Hobbies. We use this for rent kind of like console table in between the beds as nightstands, I guess, and it looks really, really pretty. But I think that I add a window. Do I add a window? I do. Okay, I have the build pulled up. I can just look. I do add a window. But I had two windows. I had two windows to go over the desks. But they do have like the same items, and then they're just different swatches of the items. And then they end up with a dollhouse and a craft table, and they each have a mirror and pride flags and just stuff all over the walls. I just think it's very pretty in here. They have the same rug and different swatches, the same chair, the same lamp. I think it's really pretty. I think that the color scheme in here is way different than the rest of the build. I'm also realizing right now that I did cut out the toddler room. You can see it on the wall, behind the wall that the dressers, the wardrobes are on this, in this room. You can see that the toddler bedroom is finished. I did cut that out because it was kind of boring and also was just a lot of fiddling around. So I will show you that in the tour that we do at the end of the video. And then I think I also cut out the hallway space that you can see here, that the door to this bedroom comes from. I did cut out that big hallway. It's pretty much just got like some cat trees, a few plants, some more bookshelves, a chest table, a mirror, and a sofa, and then lots of plants. There's plants all over this build. So I did cut that out as well. And then I think I cut out the primary bedroom upstairs. I don't know, because I was jumping around a lot between the primary bedroom and the scientist's office space. So I think that I'm pretty sure I cut out that bedroom, but again, we'll get there. I'll just show you the whole build and a tour in a little bit. This is going to be the scientist space. At the time, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to put in the space because it was a huge room. And then I realized that it might be kind of cool to put the inventor machine, the scientific invention machine. What is it called? Let me look at what it's called. The invention constructor from Get to Work with the scientist career. I put that up here. I put the like wormhole thing up here. And then they just get a lot of the items that you can make in that. So like the like spinny thing, I can't copy paste it, so I can't tell you what it's called. But all the different things you can make in the scientist career, you can find most of those in here. They also have a mini fridge and a microwave, so that they don't, if they're hungry and you're up here working, you don't have to go all the way down to the first floor kitchen to get something to eat. I thought that would be helpful. And then there's like a little desk in the corner. I think that it's a research machine. Yeah, it is a research machine. And then some filing cabinets and just stuff. There's just stuff everywhere up here. I also cut out the roof space. It just has a little grill and a dining table and a big old sectional in the corner, and then a bunch of planner boxes and a robotics table. And that's pretty much it for up there. And then I cut out the bedroom that goes up there. But now I think that this is the teens room that's on the second story. So we use the for rent bed and we use some nightstands from base game. And then this is a musician sim. So they have a DJ table, they have a few guitars, they have a microphone that is for jokes in the game, but I imagine that they use it to sing. And then they have a keyboard. I feel like the piano downstairs was bought for them to use as well. And then they have this huge porch on the front, which is why I made that a teen room, because I didn't want it to be like a kid's room or a toddler room, because that sounds so unsafe. But it is a very big teen room, and they have their own ensuite bathroom. And yeah, I really like this room. I think it's very fun. I could see myself like uploading just this room as a room to the gallery because I think it's really pretty. It's very brown and black and green. The rest of the house is like brown and black and orange, but this one is green. The sofa we use in the corner is from Base Game. The computer and the chair are from Comfy Gamer, and then the curtains are from Dream Home Decorator. The little curtains are from I want to say Parenthood. Yes, Parenthood. But yeah, I really, really like this room. I think it's really pretty. I like the layout. I like the back-to-back keyboard and desk. That is something that I would have done. I loved, it is not surprising at all in the least that I make Sims videos, because I, one, was obsessed with The Sims growing up. I was born in 1991. I was raised on The Sims. I played it all the time. But I also really, really loved rearranging my room growing up. I would rearrange it all the time. I loved it so much. It was so much fun. It was partially because like ADHD, I would just get tired of it. But then also it's just fun for me. I just enjoyed it. So I would have, yeah, that's just not surprising that I play The Sims because of that fact. But we are just decorating the side tables over here. They are very heavily decorated because it is 18. It's not heavily decorated. There's clutter. There's lots of clutter. But yeah, I think we are coming to the end of the speed build portion of this video. I'm not sure what I show of the outside, but I will show you that here in a minute when we get finished with the build. I will show you the whole exterior and everything out there. We only have about 4 minutes left of the speed build portion of this video, which is a lot of minutes, but not for this build. But we do move on, I think, from here into the parents' room. I think I show a little bit of it, but I do not show the whole thing, I don't believe. But the parents' room has a mirror, and the little bassinet with like a little baby corner where there's like a little table with some baby stuff on it next to the bassinet. And I think it was really, really pretty. Do I just move on to the first? Yeah, I just moved on outside apparently. The back porch is just a gardening space. There is so many planter boxes out there. Some of them might not be accessible because I know the big ones, you kind of have to reach every section. So I don't really place them like this anymore, like they're placed in this build, because I have trouble when I'm playing reaching every part of that planter box. So I don't place them like this anymore, but this was before I realized that. But we have some stuff over here from the Greenhouse Haven kit and the Blooming Rooms kit. Those are very heavily used on this back porch. The fence is from, I want to say, Eco Lifestyle. And then we get a few bonsai trees, which I did test, and you can access them. They're like behind a little fence, but you can access them. It works really well. But there is just so many planter boxes out here. And there's a little seating area. I do think that this table, this picnic bench, is from Batu, and I do deeply apologize for using Batu in this build. I don't know why I did that. It doesn't even like really match very well, but I used it. It's fine. And then we get a workbench out here, a work table, a handiness table, woodworking bench. There we go. I got it in the end. And a couple of tables, or a couple of chairs, I mean, from Eco Lifestyle. I was going to say something and now I can't remember what I was going to say because I got distracted. Oh, this is every single item. I guarantee you there is like an item from every single pack in the game, except for the ones that have come out in the last like 4 to 6 months, because obviously this was built before then. So there's not like anything from Adventure Awaits or anything, but I guarantee you this has got an item from every single pack. Every single pack is in this build. It's a big build, okay? And I was just having fun. I was having so much fun. If you do have any specific requests for limited pack builds, please let me know. I would love to know what you'd like to see. We are at the end of the build, so I'm going to go into the game real quick and show you what the finished product looks like because I love it so much. Alright friends, so this is the finished build. Okay, this is what it looks like on the exterior. I love it so much. I think it's so cool. Okay, I want to show you the exterior first because I did not show you any of this in the speed build because the build was too long. So over here we have this little kind of kids section with a set of monkey bars from Life and Death, I believe. And then we have this really pretty item from, what is this from? Riviera Retreat out here, just over this little toddler slide and play tent. That's really, really cute. And then over here we have an outdoor kitchen because obviously a giant house needs one. We have this little umbrella I thought was so fun. My dad kind of has this over his pool where it's like an umbrella that just covers part of the pool. So you can like float in this little spot and be under the umbrella and the cover. We have these little like fire things in these little spots. We use these from Businesses and Hobbies just all over the exterior. We have a swing set over here. And then these Riviera Retreat, I think, rocks, like waterfalls into the big pool. We have a million lounge chairs because it looked really, really fun, really cute. And then over here we have a couple of dining tables. And then this really pretty tree from Base Game. Over here we have just some little like towel spots and a fireplace. And then a bike. I figured they just bring it up from out of the elevator and over here. And then just some pet toys here. And then if we come to this back section, this back garden area, there is all of the planter boxes again. I don't know if these fully function. And then over here, there's some. And I think before I upload this to the gallery, maybe I'll put one of these back here. Maybe I'll put one of these back here just to kind of fill in this spot. Because I have not uploaded this. We're going to upload this in a second. So if you will come inside right here from the elevator, you have this little entryway area and this little front desk space. I did add a couple pieces of clutter in here. Here is the kitchen, which I think is really, really pretty and really fun. And then if you look at it from top down real quick, you can see the floor plan. I started to point. You can't see me pointing. So the elevator is here, and you come out this way from the elevator. And then if you go to the left, you will have the big family room, the big family living room with the big TV and the piano and the fish and everything over here. And then if you come in and go this way, you have the little desk space and the kitchen, which again, I feel like the kitchen is so small in this house. I don't know. You have to let me know if you agree. And then if you keep coming this way, there's the little seating area. There is this little area with some toys, the pet bowls, and then the trash chute and the hutch. And then through this door is the grandparents' room, which is just this little pretty space with all of their like older paintings and things. And then this is their bathroom. It is pretty much the same as the other bathroom that you saw, just with like an older picture to kind of match the grandparent vibe. If you come back out that door and go into this door, you will have the office, which I think is very, very fun. There's all this clutter on this dining table. There's like the draft space. I do think that there is the scientist in the household of parents. And then this sim is probably a writer slash like, not apothecary, architect. And maybe they were the ones that built this house, and that's where they got the house from. So this is the office space where you can see the little kid's toy over here. And then if you come back out this door and through this doorway here, this is the dining room, which I think is so pretty and so bright. And then I did cut out this kind of like entryway mudroom space, which I think is nice. I think that maybe they like put stuff here before they come out to the pool. And so this is where they like would put like the pool supplies and like their bathing suit cover-ups or whatever. And then if you come this way, you have the greenhouse, which is so pretty and bright, and I love it so much. And then this is what it looks like at night. I like it a lot. Let me bring the sun back. Through this door is the downstairs main bathroom that you saw on camera. This is again what it looks like, the floor plan down here. And then if you go upstairs, the stairs come up right here, and there's this big hallway. So if you come up these stairs, first you can go off to the right, which we will do in a minute. This door right here is the main upstairs bathroom. It has the litter box. It has the washer dryer with the hamper, and everything you need is in this bathroom. There is no bathtub in this one, but there is bathtubs in literally every other bathroom, so you're fine. Through this door right here, you'll find the toddler's room, which I did cut out of the video, so let me show you this really quickly, get you a full angle of all of it. There's just baby stuff and clutter and toys and a big dollhouse from, I believe this is the Little Campers kit, as is this Bigfoot stuffy. This is base game, this is high school years, and these are kids' room. So this is that little toddler room. I think it's really, really cute. And then if you come back out this way, and if you go to this direction, you'll find the chess table, a mirror, and then this little cute area here I love. I think it's very pretty with the big open lofted space. And then if you come in this door, this is that musician's teen bedroom that we just looked at a minute ago. So that is what this looks like. I think it's really pretty. I love that room so much. I won't tell you again how much I love it. And then they have this big patio with a fire pit and some lounge chairs. And then this door here leads to their bathroom, where I added the rug to be green to match the bedroom. So that is their bathroom. You go out their door and down this long hallway. This door here leads you to the nursery, baby room, the infant room. That pillar is in the way. These chairs are from Nifty Knitting, and I just thought they looked really pretty in here. So this is the infant room. And then back out and through this door is the kids' room. Again, the pink and the purple. And this is their floor plan. And you come out this door, they do have a small patio with a toddler pool and just some seating. And then if you go back inside and you go up this ladder, you reach the other teen's room. I do feel like this teen is freshly young adult, and they are in university. So this is their room. I feel like they are an artist they are obviously an artist, and they are in university, and they either live at home or they just visit home often, and this was their room or is their room. So this is their space that you did not get to see on camera. Uses lots of artist studio and some base game. And then this is a high school year's desk. And I feel like they wanted to be an artist because they grew up watching one of their parents be an architect. And that inspired them. And we will do this upstairs area in a second. If you go back down the ladder, and now we go through this door here, this first door. This is the parents' bedroom that you did not really get to see on camera. Here is that little baby space I told you about for the newborn. And then this is like the parents' bed with all their clutter and the curtains and their little living space. And they have a cat tree and just some paperwork because I feel like they were doing some work in their bedroom space. And then here is their big giant bathroom. I think it's very, very pretty. I love it in here. This is what a dream bathroom, truly. And then if you come back in here, you go up these stairs here, you will reach the scientist space. This is their work studio space. They've got the inventor machine. They've got some stuff they invented over here. Lots of storage for all of their research. The little space over there with the fridge. And so this is that space. And here is what it looks like from the top down here with the two upper third floor areas. And then here is that upper patio I was telling you about. So there's the big sofa and lots of plants. This wall art that I think works perfect up here. There is a robotics station in case the scientist wants to do that. There's a games table, some worms, some more planer boxes, and then just some various eco things. And then this is what it looks like on the outside. And then this is what the back looks like. And let me show you one more top-down version of the whole build. So this is the whole build all finished from the top down. And then if we go down, there's the third story, the second story, and the first story. So I really hope that you like this build. I know it was a very long one. I appreciate you guys watching it and staying until the end. If you stayed until the end, comment scientist or scientific emoji. I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed this build, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Don't know why I'm waving.